1961. I know, it's hard to believe I'm a day over 35, but I'm actually 52 years old.
That's amazing.
But I have longevity genes. For those perspective, I'm actually single as well, and looking for a young wife to have 4 to 6 children with.
This is the right show for that.
And but never fear. It's not that I'm just a middle-aged man wanting to have a young wife. It's that I have longevity genes, and I'm ready to have 4 to 6 children, and it's gonna be great.
We need this positive energy nowadays.
Yes!
There's so much difficulty going around, in our culture. But your show actually brings light to people, and I must say that the short amount of time that I witnessed, the musicians, for example, that were singing here, it was so much healing energy that it's like a bird whose wings are in the oil, and it's shaking its wings, and it's becoming more and more free, and then slowly runs, and starts flying. This is how I feel your show is doing for many people here.
All right, I appreciate your...
Can you share what happened? So you were born in 61, and then, you lived with mom and dad. Where was it?
This is over a little town called Norwich, New York.
Oh, wow, I know Norwich.
Over the hill. As the crow flies, it's probably only half an hour away, but if you go through the convoluted path, it probably takes an hour to get there. But yet I used to travel here to Ithaca. I consider myself a half century or more Ithacan, because we used to travel here as a baby, and I've lived here for 7 or 8 years permanently, but yet I am an Ithacan.
So what happened, for example...
For some reason that's important to me.
Your childhood, you painted the picture, and I think the listeners can have a feel for your childhood. What about the next step of your teenage years? Or, I mean, where were... Also, try to focus on some key events in your life. And make it into like different chapters in this life story that you're sharing.
Yeah. I think it's okay to jump around a little bit. One element was, I don't know, I'm floundering here. I was going to talk about when I started drinking and drugging.
How old were you?
So, from the time of a little child, I used to have a sip of my daddy's beer, but I never really got drunk. That was just, he's drinking a beer. And in fact, let me just give you a funny story, is that later in my teen, like I was about 16, I was like smoking a bong, and I said, "Hey, Dad, you want some?" And he's got a beer in one hand and a cigarette in the other, and he goes, "No thanks, I'm afraid I might like it." So he was cool like that. I mean, he probably would have tried it, but he was afraid he'd have another addiction. So, but my 13th birthday, I think the day before I first got drunk for the first time, hanging with my brother's friends. My brother was 5 years older than I was. And then on my birthday, I got stoned with marijuana for the first time. And it was actually quite a good experience at first, because maybe not the getting drunk, but then smoking the weed. More so than the actual experience, but now I had a whole new social group. I couldn't really relate to children my own age. I found it kind of like immature or had some issues there. But now, at 13, I was hanging with 17 and 18-year-olds, my brother's friends. And this opened up a whole new world to me. And plus all the cool stuff about, a whole new bunch of hip music that I never really was into before that. And now I can do grow my hair out long and patch blue jeans and pierce my ear and different things like that were really cool for me, I think.
And that was in Norwich?
Yes, that was over in the little town of Norwich.
Starting at age 13, you you kept living like that, unfolding this way until approximately when?
Yes. Then I partied like a rock star from age 13 to 18. Oh. But then it started to take its toll.
At the same time going to high school, right?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe there was another factor that came into play with my learning disability, but I'll go into that another time. But partied like a rock star from age 13 to 18, but then it's taking its toll. Then it was like I had to have, it became very tiresome. At first, like at 13, it was great. Got to hang out with older people. Whole new universe opened up. But now, 5 years later, it's like, oh my goodness, I couldn't really be, I had to like smoke weed constantly. I got drunk, not that much, but these became very much a negative thing, a dependent thing.
I would like to stop for a second here and freeze this moment of kind of picture of a child that from age 13 more and more gets into the yucky mucky stuff, and try to see the picture of the culture at the same time, like your high school kids who were your age. Do you remember, I mean, you were hanging up with all the kids, but what about other children? Because for me, this is just amazing to see that, to witness this through your life, and to see the situation that our culture is now. You know, what is actually really happening out there, which is, even though it was a long time ago, still it gives some light into it. Can you share?
About my contemporaries?
Yes.
They finally caught on to me within a couple of years. They all started, like, I would say at least 85% of my graduating class eventually started smoking weed and drinking.
That's beyond the words. Look at this culture. Look at what is happening. And
some
what is
other
happening?
drugs too.
Wow.
But no, the coke and that stuff wasn't as big back then.
Look, compare it to the time where the settlers came here, and there was like hard life. I mean, basically survival. Wow. And so, okay, so that.
Here, take the floor for a minute. I got to run out and go to the pee-pee.
Okay.
But talk right to the camera. No, keep going.
Okay, I will keep talking.
I will be right back. Everything you want to see.
Come soon.
Peeing, youth, everything. Now I go.
Okay. Christopher, Mr. Clean is going to come very soon. I'm just amazed to hear that and to put a mirror in front of us, because when I go downtown Ithaca or to the mall and I see the young people with no will, you know, no strength, bred on McDonald's and Coca-Cola and drugs and alcohol and TV. What a burden it is on this earth, on this country. Now, we all suffer from this, and maybe one of the questions that we can ask ourselves as a culture is, what's next?
Yeah! I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire, bring you to burn. Fire, I'll take you to learn. I'll see you burn.
totally blind. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! You've done. Fire for denying God's son.